That's it. Come on, my brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen. I'm today unusually coming to you because we are at the eve of a very critical uh, exercise. We're about to cast the vote in Delta State, and we need to, talk seriously. I've been in the campaign. We've been trying to powering the campaign mostly on social media and the media. And the reason is that our state is in a critical, turning moment. The moment where we need to quickly take very critical decisions. The decision that will drive our state in the direction of development. The development we can all be proud of. Delta is like a state that has been operating below capacity. Below capacity to the extent that many Delta intellectuals have been forced to get out of that state. A lot of Deltans are doing very well all over the country. In fact, the Commissioner for Finance for Lagos State, Egube, is an Oloboma. I met him recently and I was proud of him. The quality of man, the quality of knowledge. That's the man that runs the economic planning for Lagos. Why is he not in Delta? Because Delta predominantly over the years have been governed by gangsters. PDP has been there for 24 years. Somehow, the PDP have become complacent. Not only complacent, PDP have claimed Delta as their area. That no matter what, they will never lose to any party. They have entrenched their roots everywhere. To the extent that even if you try to criticize or bring issues to the understanding of the people, they do not reason. But Deltans will tell you that that's not the case, that PDP had always rigged the election. And how did they do this? It has shown in this last election. Go and check the vote from all the local governments. Compare the votes of the local governments, so maybe Warri South, to the vote they used to get. From 100,000 of votes to 5,000 meager votes. They were looking for votes. In fact, some local governments were cancelled because in their zealousness to manipulate the election, they created overvoting. My people in Delta, we are at the moment in history to join the developing states of Nigeria, not to remain the underdeveloped and backward states that we have always been. The election is here, and what are we going to do? Is to vote right, because election has consequences, and the consequences can be very dire. Because what is the choice? I was watching Arise TV, the debate. I saw that a lot of the individuals that are contesting the office, Delta is a land of intelligentials. But somehow, our intelligence, our knowledge is not expressed, it's not visible in our state. If everywhere we stand in this country, Deltans stand out. They say worry not they carry last. Does it mean worry not they carry last for backwardness? That's not what it means. What it means is that we're not the carry last because we are very smart, sharp, and we can be forward and leaders in our sphere. But why is Delta State looking so underdeveloped, backward? Because it's presided over by a gang of backward thinking individuals. They govern the state to the level of the lowest individual. They pander to the passions of the weakest. They pander to the passions of the illiterate. They pander to the passion of those they have impoverished by their 24 years of misrule. Misrule. That's why Delta doesn't look like a state that intelligent people are citizens. Delta is a brilliant, in fact, the richest, one of the richest states in Nigeria, in both mineral resources, in both agricultural resources, in both human resources that are deformed. The Delta human resource is deformed. They are clipped. There's no development. A man look left and right, it's hopeless. They now say Urobo people are lazy. They are lazy because the government have destroyed every pathway to meaningful, bright prosperity. Delta, where are the jobs? Delta creates no job. 75% to 80% of the state revenue comes from FAC, federal allocation. 25% comes from a recycling of civil service taxes. Informal sector taxes are very meager, and they are used at the local government level by their thugs. And that's where you have today, we are campaigning for election. PDP is in the campaign and telling the people that they will have more of worth, more of underdevelopment. So my people in Delta, I want to call on you that on Saturday, 18th of March, you're going to cast your vote for the EDGE agenda of Ovie Omoh Agege. Ovie Omoh Agege is the most qualified among the contestants. They are all excellent. In fact, I was proud of the quality of men that stood yesterday on the podium. I listened to Ogboru. He has always been a brilliant man, and yesterday he showed the confidence of the Delta. I look at the quality of men. I listened to Kempela, a man of the labor Kempela spoke brilliantly, young man. And then I have always had a wrong opinion about Kenneth Gbagi. I've never met him, but the vibe around him is of a negative nature. But when I listened to him yesterday in that debate, in fact, I was impressed. And then Ovie. Look, my brothers and sisters, Delta is blessed. We cannot, why should Delta not sparkle like other states? Why will Delta not be a brilliant, beautiful state like other states? With all the revenue that the state has, with all the revenue that the state has made over the years. Look at where we are. Look at the picture of Delta. It's ugly. It's not nice. It's not beautiful. Look at the quality of education. It's a disgrace. Look at the quality of healthcare. It's a disgrace. What is Okowa doing? Look at the airport. Look at its quality. Look at the stadium in Asaba. The Warri Stadium has been abandoned. The one they built in Asaba, it's like a secondary school playground. You go to Akwa Ibom and see what they built there in the name of stadium, hosting great matches. My brothers and sisters, the vision and mission of Omoh Agege is clear. Now, why am I recommending Omoh Agege? Among all of them, he is a politician that is active at the moment among them. Ogboru is not in any political appointment, is not in the mainstream of the politics at the moment. Kempela is completely an outsider and a novice. You won't vote the Labour Party just because you think what is reigning is obedience. No. To do so is to endanger your state, because obedience is not a mission, it's not a project for Delta. Obedience has no role in Delta. The local politics of Delta behoves that Omoh Agege be given the chance because he is the current deputy senate president at the federal level. From that bird-eyes view, he sees Delta more clearly, and he understands clearly Delta's challenges because he has been a secretary to government, he has been in the trench. He has been in government in Delta to understand how the PDP operates. He's the only one too that can defeat them and ensure the vote is guaranteed, so that you won't cry. Because, for example, in some elections, the political parties don't even have agents. So you won't cast your vote and then enter the mode of a wailer. No, cast your vote for assured victory. Not only assured victory, when the Omo Agege comes into office, he will be in alignment with the federal, because Bola Tinubu of the APC will be at the federal and Omo Agege will be in Delta. We will now align Delta out of opposition state. Then we will now begin to see the implementation of the ED agenda that is driven by the desire to arrest the receding hope among Deltans and build a state where people's future is brighter than their past. Now, we are aware that people are seriously worried about the unemployment indices. Is he worried? It's a catastrophe. Is he worried? We are tearing out. We are crying. How can Delta, such a state, not have employment for its people? With all the money, with all the resources, what a misnomer. What a disgrace. What a fall. PDP should bury their faces in shame. Any Delta that casts his vote for PDP, it means that you have no idea how damaged our state has been or is in now. You don't understand. It means the backwardness they have inflicted on you is affecting the way you are choosing them. If it is indeed true that PDP has been rigging election, this is the time to prove it. In fact, the last election proved it. PDP was third. They were not even second. The Labour Party came first because of the mood of the nation. I agree. Nigeria has not fared well generally. It's not today. The effort to reclaim and recover Nigeria is a tough battle that is being fought till today. And that's why I tell you, look at the election we are having. For the first time, small players are hopeful of victory. So we have a chance that victory beckons, because this is the brightest moment for Delta State. You know, the unemployment, they are not only skyward, as evidenced by the high percentage of youth roaming the street for jobs that do not exist. Our youth are Delta youth roaming the street. I feel like most times when I talk about my state, I feel like shedding tears, because it's like hell. It's like what they describe as hellfire. You know, the people are so great, a beautiful mind. If that government of the PDP had spent our 24 years in consistent development, Delta would be the most beautiful place to live in within the Nigerian space. Lagos will not even be able to compete. Whoever comes to Delta will ask the question, why is this state so bright and beautiful? And then the answer will be, it's one of the major oil producing states in Nigeria, and has massive resources, and its leaders are blessed, are good people. You know? So I want to call on you on Saturday, vote Ovie Omo Agege. He's the most qualified. He's currently in the center of Nigerian politics. And APC, my fellow Deltans, is not an Islamization party. The PDP have told you this forever, so that it can hold you in bondage, deceiving you that there is an agenda somewhere to Islamize you, that the APC brings headsmen. That's not true. They produce these criminals that are disguised as headsmen, and they have used it for politics. Can't you see that during the election, all of these things just simmer? The politicians use them to play politics. We have levels of insecurity, but not the kind where in Delta, someone say headsmen are disturbing Deltas. A lot of them are, as our youth, now frustrated, have become headsmen in our local palace, and they have turbaned their heads in order to commit crime. They can even bring some of them to join them, and they are working for criminal gangs. Omo Agege is coming to uproot all of that. Omo Agege is coming to put down an employment agenda that will change the landscape and improve the quality of life of our people. Omo Agege is coming to touch infrastructure the way it has never been innovatively done. Can't you see Lagos? I have a lot of friends, political friends, when they travel from Delta and other places, and I drive them around Lagos. They are amazed. They see something different every time they come. That's how Delta should be. You know, the promise is sure. The promise is sure. There was a guy called Magnus Oraka who was proposing that the Delta should vote for Kempela, and he gave some cheap reasons. All those reasons, he said the APC is to come and share money and all of that. It's a shame that every time we are playing politics, we don't talk about the quality of individuals, because no matter how great a manifesto is, the quality of the individual that we implement it is very important. Omo Agege is active. It's not a displaced politician. It's not a disgruntled politician. It's in the center. And APC has given Delta its brightest political, APC has given Robos the brightest political chance in history. It is the APC that delivered us Omo Agege as Deputy Senate President, one of the highest political office the Robos have held. And among all the Robo indigenes that are going to participate in this election, just take a look at them. Omo Agege, Sheriff Oborewori, Great Ogboru, Kenneth Gbagi, Ofehe, and Kempela, and others. Just judge for yourself. Judge for yourself. Omo Agege is too high in the pedestal of everything that you can think of. Omo Agege is bold and brave. Listen to this. He's bold and brave. He's rugged. So if the PDP out of power want to rugged the state, Omo Agege can respond. Because PDP doesn't give up without a fight. Since PDP was defeated at the center, Nigeria have never known peace. So I do not expect that when PDP is defeated, if you put a novice government there, if you put a Kempela of the Labour Party believing there is a movement, it will be so shocked at the hydra-headed monster called the PDP. It takes a man who understands them to lose their stronghold in the state in order to take the state back and keep it in the hands of the citizens. Because President Buhari's electoral revolution, electoral reform, the INEC beavers and other apparatus has put power back in the hands of the people. The PDP used to say, PDP, power to the people. The people never had power. Every election, I was in a hotel some time ago during one of the elections. I saw them in one of the halls, some printing ballot. I saw it. People tell you they didn't vote, but results came out all the way. That is over now. You got to go there and vote and make a decision to change your state so that when you live in Warri, you are not greeted daily with the images of underdevelopment, with visuals of backwardness. Warri does not have to represent that ugly state in the mouth of the comedians, saying that coffins and graves can relocate themselves in cemetery, that these things happen in Warri. I heard a lot, and I see a lot when I drive around. Beautiful people, but held down in captivity by a poor and backward government. Backward government. No, a government lacking in quality wisdom. You know? So the unemployment situation, Omo Agege will address it. It is for this reason I partner with him. It is for this reason I join his campaign council. It is for this reason I call that I will volunteer. It is for this reason that I am going to participate in the government when it's installed. Participate by ideas. Great ideas that will change the landscape and give employment to our people. Without employment, there cannot be security. So anyone who say want to tackle security and doesn't talk about employment for young people, able young men, and even elderly people, the old are confused, the young are confused. Is that a state that we... So please, let's get serious. Election has consequences. Don't vote anyhow. Don't vote emotionally. Put your vote in the APC because it has the political structure to guarantee the progress of Delta under Ovie Omo-Agege's government. He will easily go to Abuja and he will not play opposition politics. He will not be against the federal. He will work with the federal for the development of Delta. Ovie Omo-Agege has created that relationship, and you see the affinity between him and Tinubu during the campaigns. Tinubu came and said when he was driving through the state, he saw how he was disappointed at the quality of the passageway to the stadium, from Osubi Airport to the Warri Township Stadium. He promised that if you vote Omo-Agege with him at the center, we can harmonize a unique developmental agenda. Our ports need to come to life. How can you do that if you have a federal government that is opposite of Delta? This is the moment. You have a fantastic man, a brilliant man, who's coming in to work for us. I am with him because I identify the real issues. Employment is number one. Without employment, nothing can be done. You will speak from here to there, the insecurity, the youth restiveness, the DEVE project, the DEVE syndrome, and all the other ills of the state will continue at an alarming rate, because we have got to a tipping point. Even at the federal level, we're sitting on a keg of a gunpowder if we don't solve that. Therefore, I want to call on every young person. If you come across this video and you have time to watch it, please call your brothers, sisters, fathers, parents, vote the APC. Reason I have given enough, and because of time, I won't be able to go further. But I'll say that the golden moment is here. It's a Saturday. Tell everyone, we're voting this party, we're voting this individual, because first is the best among them, is in active politics at this moment. The rest people are not active in politics. Ogboro has been quiet. Gbagi is completely out of the radar. He's even fighting Okowa. He used to be a former PDP federal minister. And you have Kempela coming from the private sector straight into the political sphere. He can't play the game because he's not in the system. And then finally you have Sonny Ufege, who lives abroad and does a lot of things locally, but that does not mean that he knows he knows what he calls the booby traps. The booby traps. Omo-Agege knows all. He knows where the campaign is. He knows where the votes are. He knows where the PDP does is cheating. That's the man you should vote for. If you do so, you will be proud you did. You will be a Deltan who today will really say, worry not the carry last, because we're not the carry last for good things, not bad things. Warri is a beautiful place. If somebody told me that Warri is irredeemable, I've never forgotten that statement. I'm still thinking about it. But in my conversations with this group of people coming to take Delta, I'm proud to report to you, they believe Warri is redeemable. And every of our towns and villages will experience development. It's not rocket science. We have all it takes within the ground. What do we need to develop Delta? Our cassava, our palm oil. These are wealth. It was because of palm oil that Vora and Obase fought the British people. Because of palm oil and rubber, they dethroned the king. They fought and took the land. We have them and we are poor. It's a disgrace. Ladies and gentlemen, my Delta people have said enough this morning, and I think this is the video. I'm going to share the video wherever you find it. Let every Delta young man in school everywhere, let them. I hear the promise of a reduction of the school fees in Delsu. Why will you vote against a party that can do it? Why will you vote for a party that will think of how to do it? This is not the time. This is not the time to joke and trivialize your vote. Don't, on that day of the vote, pray to God and go there with sobriety and make the right choice. Don't follow the bandwagon. Don't follow the LUP. Those, you can see, they are joking with it. They are dancing. Once you begin to do that, you lose your reasoning capacity to make the right choice. Don't follow their dance. Don't follow that slogan. Follow the seriousness of the matter. The PDP is very dangerously entrenched in Delta. Make no mistake. Don't put in competition with someone that cannot withstand them. They will push the person aside, and the person cannot fight for your votes. Vote for the man that has the capacity to guarantee victory for us. Vote for the man that has the modern political play game that is playing right now. He's in the game at the center as Deputy Senate President. He knows Nigeria from an eye, he knows Delta from a far helicopter view. Above all, he's a member of the party that will rule at the center. That same party we align. And when he's governing, it will not take time. Anytime there's a challenge, easily he will reach his president. Easily, this president is in a affinitous relationship with him. The reasons are numerous. So political ignorance, we just want to show them. We just want to prepare them. We don't tire for the old parties. Listen, it's a very dangerous thing to have a novice govern you. And to form a government, you need men and women. It's not one man that forms a government. So if you vote a Pella, who are the people he will use to form government? He will now bring in anyone that has supported him, his friends that you don't know. Omo Agege will work within the political structure. You know them. The people you know is better than angels or strangers that pretend to be angels. Beware. We know they carry last. Make we also carry last. Make we not carry last for this senseless journey some states are about to do. Enjoy yourself. Vote right. Vote right. Let's come to celebrate after. And then we begin to have a state that will move in the direction that we have never seen. Delta is capable. Delta will always be great because it has great people. And the people are ready to take their state from the PDP. We call it the underdevelopment party. The party that deceives the people. The party that takes advantage of the problems of these places where it governs to loot the resources. Oborevori is not qualified. I didn't mention his name. He's not qualified. It's not. Don't bother about it. Delta of the past could guarantee people who are less qualified into office. But the Delta of today is not for those who are not qualified. Oborevori is a speaker. Tell me one unique law he made in 8 years. One outstanding thing he did apart from development projects, empowerment project. What is Oborevori's contribution to the legislative activities of Delta? Is there anything outstanding? He presided over the pillage of our resources, borrowing money. He was there when they collected money from Buhari. Okowa didn't tell you. He didn't tell us. They kept quiet. They were sharing the money and they were using it to finance presidential and vice presidential bid until Wike burst the bubble and they started explaining. Oborevori was there. If he loves you, if he's a man that is of the people, how will he join with Okowa to lie about money they have received? Assuming he was not told, and they also deceived him. When in our head, what did he do? Did he deal with Okowa? Did he call for the impeachment of Okowa? No. He wants to be governor. He wants to power himself into office because he's going to represent their interest. Can't you see that the choice of Oborevori have divided PDP? Ibori and his people and David has endorsed Omo Agege. So you can see that there's nothing in PDP. Don't even bother about it. It's finished. Then Magnus Oraka, beware of him because he's a bitter man. Spiritually, he has already explained himself because he said after the election, if he see an Hausa man hungry, a child, and he's eating, he will spit in the food and not give it to that child. That is the type of man Magnus is. He said the country should burn. He said Tinubu is not his president. Is that the man that came to Delta from Plateau telling you to come and vote for Kempela? You see the quality of people. If a Magnus Oraka and Kempela win election, the Delta will be pillaged because they are bitter. They are not happy men. They are not glorious. They are not gentle. You say you hate the Northerners because this election has taken place. That a child, if a child is hungry and begging you for food, that because it's a northern child, you will spit on the food and throw it away. That's the man that support Kempela running Obidati Kempela TV. That advice is an evil thought. For Bible says in Romans chapter 12 that we should not pay evil with evil, that recompense evil with good. So that when your enemy hunger, give him food. When your enemy thirst, feed him. When your enemy hunger, give him food. When he thirst, give him water. But Magnus, who claimed to be a Christian, who says Christian ticket, says that when a northern child is hungry and beg him for food and is eating, and there's remnant, instead of giving the child the food, he will spit on the food, because Peter Obi lost election. And then he ran to Delta to come and support Kempela. You know? So, please, I want to appeal to you and say that I have said so much, enough for you to know that we are not going into an election. I'm a member of PDP. As a young person, don't touch PDP. As a young person, vote Omo Agege. It guarantees you victory, so that you won't be a wailer, a sad person who is trying to jack back. People should jack back to Delta. If we develop Delta, we will jack back to Delta from other states. Not Deltans going to Lagos, running to Abuja. Thank you very much. I love you. I love you so much. I love Delta, my state. But I have been disenchanted by the quality of governance. But now goodness is coming. Vote Ovie Omo Agege. With the Osanebi, there were two of them, will lead a squad of government that will bring happiness and pride to you and I. Bye for now.